Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Manny Talks Shooting, the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry because I can and I want to. But first, we have to plug this show's sponsor. This show has been sponsored from almost the beginning because I asked him. That's Go Fast, Don't Suck. Bill's a phenomenal dude. Don't give him shit unless he deserves it. I mean, sometimes he does. So sorry, Bill. Go buy your shirts. Go buy your hats. Go buy your dry fire targets, match jerseys. Go check out the memes that hurt all of our feelings because they're mostly true, I think, for the most part. So go check out Go Fast, Don't Suck on social media and on their website, gofastdon'tsuck.net. Tell Manny sent you. You might get a laugh. I don't know. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to today's guest. The guest today is Mr. Camden Lee, or as everyone should know him as the C-Class legend. How you doing, Camden?
Good. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. It's a wonderful, what is it, June 13th when we're recording this for the people who actually care when these are being recorded. So it's good to have you on the show, sir. It's been fun. We met, last weekend?
Last weekend.
Yep, we met at the 2022 Chile Custom Gunworks Michigan Sectional, and it was cool to meet you in person, actually. So
yeah, I've listened to all your podcasts beforehand and knew I'd be seeing you up there working. Ken asked me to work that, so it was kind of nice to go up there and go farther north than I have before.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't too far north and too early. It was just right. It's beginning of June, so it's not too hot, not too cold. So Camden, how did you get the name C-Class Legend for people who don't know?
So when I started shooting, I was horrible. Never shot a gun, never really owned a gun. So I started shooting and I made C-Class pretty easy once I figured out what gun I wanted to shoot. And then I moved to open and I just started winning stuff in C-Class, of course. Just over and over and over. I was like, well, one of these is going to be a match pump. And I never got it. So my friends around here, St. Louis, got some local stuff around here, and they just started calling me C-Class Legend and convinced me to change my name. So after I took third at nationals in C-Class, which, we decided to change it. And then, of course, I make B-Class not shortly after that.
But you can't change it. It's always got to be the C-Class Legend.
Always,
right?
Always.
Even though you might have that GM at next to your name, you'll still be the C-Class Legend.
Always, if I ever get there.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, we all never know, right? I surprise myself daily when I go shoot a match. I'm like, I did that? That was me? Are you sure that wasn't somebody else? So you said you got into C-Class after you figured out how to shoot a gun pretty much. So what division did you start in?
I started in, so I decided to shoot single stack for some reason. 45, everybody thought it was cool. And so I got me a 45. I started shooting that. And my very first match was a local match down here by us, it's about an hour and a half away, called Cops. And went down there with about 115 people. That was my first match. And went down there. And as I was shooting, I had another guy picking up mags and reloading because I didn't have enough. Figured out after that I did not like shooting single stack and traded up to a Glock.
The old single stack boomer life. Why you got to be a boomer, man?
Everyone talked about, gold cups and all this stuff. So I went out and Rock Island, close enough to a gold cup, right?
Right. Yeah, it's the poor man's gold cup.
Yeah. I shot him. I just liked him and thought it'd be cool. I didn't really know much about the sport. And everybody's like, well, if you like to reload, I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but yeah, I like it. So went down and had 6 magazines, and everybody's like, whoa, that's not enough. You're gonna need more. And met a guy, eventually became one of my good friends, and he gave me a few mags, and I never had any issues with jams or anything. I just couldn't hit anything because I didn't know how to shoot or grip a gun.
Oh yeah, that's definitely part of it, right?
Oh man, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So then you said you switched to a Glock. I'm assuming we went to production or maybe limited minor.
I went to limited. Yep, went to limited. Went to limited first, and then went to a Glock and then did some work for a guy. And he Cerakoted my gun, and everybody's like, "Man, your gun looks like a cert pistol." It was a Glock. I had the slide Cerakoted red because I liked red trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Looked exactly like a cert pistol. So I started shooting that and became Glock guy before I changed my name to C class. And because everybody knew I wasn't shooting anything but a Glock. And then shortly after that, I couldn't get anywhere out of C class. I was stuck. No matter how well I shot, I just couldn't get that next level. So I got a CZ after that, and instantly, pretty much 2 weeks after having going from a Glock to a CZ, I went straight to B class in production. So the heavier gun kept me from transitioning off the targets, helped me, a lot of stuff, just, overall. So that's what I stuck with for a while.
Well, that's cool. So then, yep, and then what eventually made you say, I want to go shoot open guns?
I went to Paso Park with a local guy I had met, and he had me go up there with Ray Hurst and a bunch of guys, and they all shot open guns from like the 80s, like legitimately 1987. This guy's gun was built, and the other guy goes, "Well, I got a newer one. It's like 92, but I'll give you a deal." And I shot it like, I want to shoot open. I want to go fast. The trigger was like 2 pounds, and just 38 super comp. And I was like, man, is this what everybody does? Is you want to go fast? So I bought it, and it was all a trajectory of up and down from there. 9 open guns total, just started with the lowest I could go, and then have been moving up ever since.
Yeah. So, well, it was surprising you started right in the deep end at 38 super comp, so you were buying brass. I'm betting.
The old guys just said that I was shooting with was like, you know what? If you shoot 9, you suck. I said, okay, well, I guess 38 super. The gun was already chambered in 38 super comp, actually 38 super.
Oh, okay.
But we tuned it to run both. But I bet you I have, when I started shooting, I bet you I have 40 or 50,000 38 super brass. And super comp, yeah, I was I was given quite a bit of it, and then I just started buying it, just picking it up, buying it. I got tired of picking it up, so I just kept buying it, and just as I went along.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So let me guess, that old, like you said, it was a 92, so it's got to maybe be a polymer grip with like a sideways Seymour.
It's a sideways Seymour, but it's a Caspian. All my old guns are Caspians. 2 Caspians. One was 87, one was 92. The 87, of course, belonged to my buddy who passed away, but his wife and kids wanted me to keep it, so I shoot every once in a while. But yeah, I did sideways mounts, Seymours, and Caspian mags welded together. So the old school big sticks before MBX started making them. As soon as MBX made them, I bought them, and they were amazing. MBX makes amazing products, so.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah, open guns are cool. Everyone wants to go fast, though. Absolutely. So you said you were stuck in C class, and you finally made to be in production. You recently finally made it to be an open. What kind of made the jump from being a C class open shooter to a B class open shooter for you?
Part of it was I don't shoot locals really, because most of my time's given to majors to go, and I want to go see people and go shoot. I could shoot probably anywhere from 3 to 4 locals a month within an hour and a half of me. There's quite a few, but some of the setup, some of the stuff like that just isn't, they're not setting stuff up wrong. They're just not putting a lot of thought in it. It's a lot of box shooting. Not a lot of people are invested in it as much as some of us are. So I decided to quit pretty much shooting locals and just shoot majors. And what changed it from C to B was these major matches. I've just been moving up in the ranks slowly, shooting consistently 60, 70% of, where I need to be at. And it finally counted enough. I've shot 75% of some matches where I shot very well of the top competitors, but there wasn't enough GMs, or I didn't shoot 15% above, so it didn't count. So for me, it was always just, I'd shoot just good enough that it didn't count, or I'd shoot good enough that it should have counted, but there wasn't enough GMs, that kind of thing. It's just, I never shot locals. So no classifiers, no stuff like that. Also what helped was just a lot of people pushing me, dry fire. I'd shoot with better people. and they would say, hey, you need to work on this. Like you go faster than that. You need to work on this. And I go out there in the next match. I'm like, all right, all out, let's see the least amount that I can on that brown. And I started pushing. And once I started pushing, I never really stopped. I mean, it shows the last few matches, but you got that in between. The dry fire helps, and things like that. I hope to take a Mason Lane class, hopefully by the end of this year. We've been talking about getting them to St. Louis. Tim Herron was just in St. Louis, which I missed because of that was during Dragons Cup. That was local to me, but I missed that because of Dragons Cup. And then other than that, I haven't really missed any other classes I've been wanting to take. I'll make time eventually.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Mason's definitely on the list. It's kind of been interesting. I've been having this inner battle of who I want to try to get out here for 2023. If it's like Mason or JJ or like Christian. So I've been trying to figure out who I need to, or whose schedule can line up best with mine. So
yeah, that's the hard part, is like once you make plans to a class with them and then a major comes up, it's kind of like, oh man, like we set this class up a year ago, but this is a major I really want to hit. So what do I do? And I won't ditch out the class, but before it was set up, I already had all my major schedules set up and didn't know about it. So
yeah, and I do definitely agree with you on the aspect of shooting with better people, because it doesn't help to shoot. I mean, it sometimes helps to shoot with your buddies who aren't as great, but like it really helps to like shoot with top guys, like for example, like shooting with Andrew Hyder or Trace Decker, who we just saw burn it down a couple weeks ago. It was like, I thought I was fast, but there was
I shot with Chris Keene at Michigan Sectional. He helped me a ton. It's like, wow, guy's fast.
I didn't know he was an older dude. I thought he was a young
I'd
guy.
never met him before. We'd never met, but that's somebody that pushed me. His stage planning was great, and there's another one. He pushed me, and I shot better. I gave up some dumb mics, but it's a learning curve when you're not dry firing as much because I'm traveling a lot and then heading to matches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of dry fire, when you dry fire, are you using like your practice mags, or did you pick up those double alpha mags?
I actually have, for anybody can't see, but I actually have the double alpha mags.
Oh, there you go.
Because there's no way I'm dropping I've paid so much money for mags. I'm just not going to drop them on the ground unless I have to. Those are weighted enough that I can practice with them, but I do have dummy rounds for some when I'm loading into. I'll drop those on the ground, load my full mag into my gun. That way I can feel everything, but I'm not dropping it.
Yeah, I have a couple of those for the Glock right now, but do you think those are pretty close to 140 weight?
I haven't weighed one in a while. I think we weighed one before, but I think it's pretty close. I mean, it's enough that I can practice a reload and it feels realistic to me. Like my gun comes up, everything like that happens. It does feel realistic to me. It might be a little off, but not much if it is.
Did you see that they were making a big stick version?
I would definitely buy one just to practice with, because that's my biggest. Watch my match videos. It's a double tap every time. I got to get out of that habit. I burn seconds. I watch myself doing it because I've dropped my mag so many times now. I don't need to do that, because when I'm reloading at home, I can do it no problem. But when I'm moving and shooting, it's like, well, I got that extra second. Let me just double tap that mag in for no reason. It's a bad habit I picked up because I got so nervous after one match. It just every reload I did was just drop. It'd go in and first shot it'd pop out. So even with them downloaded. So that was something that I had to work on and stuff like that.
Yeah, now and then you got to take all the bullets out, and then you got to open it up. You got to pull the spring a little bit. You got to brush it out.
Yep.
It's okay. I'm preparing myself to be like, right now with a Glock, I'm able just to swap my mags, like grab the mags that are already loaded for the next stage. No, I'm going to take it all apart.
When I started shooting the Glock, I think I ended up with 46 Glock mags. So when we go to a match, we didn't care. If they fell on the ground, you just throw them in the other bag. You had enough to literally get through. They all worked. The crappy ones didn't go with you. Yeah. So there for a while, you never even clean the Glock mags. You blow in them and shove the bullets back in them. And then I started shooting open. It's like, why won't my gun run? This dust, it just stopped my gun? Like, this is weird. But a lot of times it was just the mags. It wasn't even the gun. It was the mags.
Oh, yeah. The mags are, I want to say, if your gun's not tuned right and your load's not right, it's the mags. from all the experience I've seen with people have issues with guns. I don't have mine yet, but I watch the internet. But yeah, so so the mags are always been. God damn, I lost my train of thought. But it's at Dragon's Cup, did you have to keep your gun safe from the dust?
So when I shot 2019 Nationals, I went to Utah. My buddy who was friends with Tim and Ray and all them, he took me out to Nationals. Hey, we're going to Nationals, and he had cancer, and he took me out there. He goes, "Hey, keep your gun covered." He goes, I can't tell you enough. Watch these guys' guns fail. So we went out there, and I just watched all these guys keep it covered. Sometimes I'd keep a shower cap and then put my gun cover over it and an optic cover, because it gets so dusty that you can just scrape it off your finger. And that was an issue I saw with a lot of these guns in these dusty places. Every mag you dropped, you did have to clean, though, at Dragon's Cup. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. Same, dustier than, I think the dust was worse than the sand. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's a great facility and a weird place.
I'd never been out there. It was random, but I liked the area. It was just hot. Yeah. And it wasn't like humid hot. It was just hot. So you never really knew you were getting hot until you were hot.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't sweat. You just got hot, and it was like, man, this is weird.
Yep. So we kind of talked about some of your old guns a little bit, but what are you running now?
So I talked to so many gun builders, and I was going to get a custom gun build. It's like, I'm done with these old guns. And as soon as I said that, one of our local guys had bought a Phoenix Trinity. Mm-hmm. And I decided, it was brand new, everything I wanted, colors and everything. So I got a deal, and I bought a Phoenix. That's what I got. Or a Honcho, sorry. Jesus Christ, a Honcho. Mm-hmm. With 3 barrels. I got the 9 major, the 9 minor, and the 38 super comp. So it's definitely it's had its challenges at first. They come a little undersprung, in my opinion. They'll tell you they're not, but in my opinion, I feel like once I talk to so many gun builders, like, yeah, step it up. So after that, I've pretty much been 100%. No issues other than me shooting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now the Honcho's got that different. It's got like, it doesn't have a barrel link, a traditional barrel link, right?
The locking lug almost. Yeah. It's a lug that sits in between there and just kind of floats in between the barrel and the lockup, so you don't have an actual locking ring there. So you don't have to worry about breaking that as much. They still can break, but the only thing I was told when I got it was just oil it. Mm-hmm. Like, they need a lot of oil. But other than that, so far, everybody that has them, nobody's had any issues that I know. I mean, there's been issues, but nothing like catastrophic at majors. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. So what are your current goals still in shooting?
Oh, I'm hoping to get out of B class pretty fast. I'm going to try to dry fire more. I'm going to do that more, live fire with some local guys. I got a super squad guy that lives near me, and we go train together. He helps a lot. It's just making the time between all the major matches I work and shoot to actually make A class. I mean, it's an excuse, but shooting on staff day is very hard. Mm-hmm. I know you've worked some matches, but I work a lot of matches, and you can see from my results, even like Illinois sectional, I shot staff day, but I had 2 GMs with me, and my results were 20% better than last year. I felt like I shot better last year. Mm. It's so hard to, I say, keep your head in the game, because like at Dragon's Cup, it was an amazing match. I'll definitely go back every year they have it, but we were understaffed at Dragon's Cup for staff day. We had 3 squads. We probably should have had 2, but that's just something you learn as you go. But I hope to make A class. I hope to buy another gun exactly the same as this one, so I can have a backup gun, get rid of some of my other guns for people that want to start and open. I sold some of them real cheap just to get rid of them, but all of them are chambered in 38 super comp or 38 super. So most people don't want them, but I give them away pretty cheap. Other shooting goals would be probably take a few classes before the end of the year, at least by next year, have 2 classes on the books, because I'd like to just get better in general. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and to make a comment on staff day, it's a lot different than being a competitor. You got to worry about passing the brick around or like, all right, whose turn is it? It's like I got to get
Or
ready.
you're on deck and you're scoring
Yep.
and you're not supposed to do that, but you don't have enough, like everyone's doing something. So it's like, all right, well, I'll take this for a second. Then you're like, well, here's the timer, here's the tablet. Okay, my mags aren't loaded. I got, give me a minute or whatever stupid stuff's going on. But it is there there's not too many great shooters that, RO. It's
Mhm.
tough. It takes your mind out of it. Sometimes you're worried about how the stage is going to go and just a lot of things.
Right, and
I
it's
work a
some.
lot of matches, so I've seen a lot of different ways to do stuff, and it's still tough.
Oh yeah, and it's sometimes you don't have the best, not the best stage planners. So then when you watch the competitors burn those stages down, you're like, what the hell didn't I think of this?
Oh God, yeah. Or you're like, man, I did the same thing, but it was like one thing different that if they would have showed you, you could have shaved 5 seconds off. You're like, man, I just been shoot with that guy. Same plan, just a little bit different. It's like, man, just it's tough. It's tough.
Mhm.
I don't always uh hold it against myself when I shoot bad. Michigan, I shot okay. I gave up 10 mics. That's unheard of for me in one match. Nothing about that match was hard. It was a fun match. I didn't think I shot outside of my ability. I may have been pushed a little bit, but at the same time, it's like can't outrun 10 mics. It's tough. So I came in where I came in about 60 something percent. So that's about C. It probably should be a little higher, but nobody. Andrew knocked it out of the water, so it knocked everybody's scores down. He killed it. Him and Trace and everybody killed
Oh
it.
yeah. Well, it's especially really cool when you've got a guy who lives in the Midwest, at least for us, who is a super squad level dude. So he's always in the mix at nationals and shit. So it's like you just know you're like, well, it's gonna suck for everybody because no one's gonna shoot that good.
Yeah,
But
or you're at a match where you shoot amazing, and Christian's there, and he puts 20 or 10% on everybody, so it doesn't count as a score for the match, which is like a lot of what I'm going for when I'm shooting these matches. I don't make time to shoot locals, so it's like
mhm,
if I shoot 75%, I shoot a few of those and they count. I'm at A class, or 80%, right there in the mix. I don't have to worry about classifiers.
exactly, yeah. No, now speaking of that, I kind of agree with you. Maybe it should be changed a little bit, right? It shouldn't necessarily be dependent on GMs or something like that, or something a little different
Well,
because it punishes everybody who really does well at a major match when there's only two GMs or a GM.
yeah, no, I agree. We've talked about this locally about what we could do because it's like, man, if the local, I guess so, say the local GM doesn't show up, the local guy that kills everybody doesn't show up, and then you shoot 85 or 90% and you're at the top. Well, I agree that shouldn't count, but how do you I guess how do you make it work to where it's fair for everybody? Because if you don't have a lot of heat in your area and you are the heat, you could jack your score up real quick just by shooting well.
Oh
So I
yeah,
get that, but it just sucks for me. I just need to shoot more classifiers and quit my whining. So you
yeah, but
know,
you're putting out in the sport, you're helping the sport. So I mean, it sucks for the people who do shoot all these majors and they're like, well, I'm stuck in C class when you know, but and
it's
then
tough.
oh yeah, it definitely can be tough, but I don't know. Well, and does it seem like around you there's not a lot of open shooters? There's a lot more carry optic shooters.
Optics. Yeah, there's not much open. The open heat we did have, uh, he's a younger kid and he pretty much went to work a lot. Like he just decided, well, I'll shoot when I can. And he was the heat. And now the heat towards me is like in Kansas. Those guys from CZ, some of those, like they're not close to me. So anytime I shoot open, I might be there might only be five of us shooting open and we're all B, C, and D class. So it's, you don't have that top guy to push you per se when
Hmm.
you're shooting locals or to help you. So
Yeah, it's definitely the case around here too. It's well, no, nothing. Everything's fine with carry optics, but it just sucks. It's like no one wants to. No one's going to open anymore. They're all just going to carry optics because they don't have to get the red dot. They don't need to spend 5-10 grand.
that's true. I mean, I did get a carry optics gun. I did build it, and I have not shot it but 5 times. Glock 17 Gen 5 with an SRO that I have a couple SROs from other guns. So it's all done up all pretty, and I've shot it like 5 or 6 times because I was going to shoot nationals. And last year, I got in like a week before, and I'm like, you know what? That's not enough time. I've shot like 20 rounds or five rounds through the time to zero, and then 20 rounds total. So it is fun, but a slide ride red dot compared to an open gun, it's ridiculous, the difference. I never thought there'd be that big a difference, but there really is.
Yeah, side rides are fun, but frame mounted are better. But so how many majors have you ended up working so far?
So this year I've worked the Ozark Classic, which is level 2, Area 6, Dragons Cup of Michigan sectional so far this year. I will also be working Area 5, Area 3, Illinois sectional, Area 7, Area 4, and the Big 4 nationals. Plus, there'll probably be some more in between there as they come open. They ask me to work, and I'll go work them because I get asked, or whatever.
Especially if you're close enough-ish and you got the time off, right?
Yeah. Well, and my time off is take what I can afford. So, right. That's how it works. I don't have paid vacation, so I'll work a bunch and then take off a bunch and work a bunch and just make it even out. So.
Right. That's pretty cool. Yeah. No, my major schedule is definitely not that large this year. It was supposed to be 1, 2, 3. It was supposed to be like 4, but we had to cancel the mitten match, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, and then I also have next weekend or 3 weeks from now, I think it's the Cornhusker and then Free State. So I got those two. I'm actually shooting. I'm excited to just shoot. No working.
Yeah.
So they're both good matches. I haven't shot Cornhusker before, but Free State is a good one that Matt Hopkins and then put on down there at that Mill Creek Club.
Well, you'll be seeing. I think Walt's still going. I think Walt's going to be the RM for that one, so that'll be a familiar face back in his old state of Kansas.
Yep.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know. I enjoy working majors, but it seems like I enjoy those kind of people a little bit more sometimes.
I enjoy seeing everybody. I got as soon as I started shooting in 16, and then in 2017, like, well, if you want the matches to be better, you got to be an RO. So I'm like, all right, I became an RO. And then I found out that, it wasn't that bad working because it's all paid for. They feed you. They do pretty much a lot of places. They'll feed you, put you up in a hotel or most of the hotel. And then, you shoot the match for free with your friends. You do the setup. It's a lot of fun, but you definitely don't get the same mindset you get, even if you try to shoot during competitor day. You don't have the same people. You have, you're fixing all the issues you're going to have before competitor day. So it's a lot of reshoots, a lot of like, oh, there's a shoot through there. That's three squads have already shot it and we didn't catch it, and this squad caught it. So now we're coming back to reshoot when it's 100 degrees out. It's hard, tough.
Yeah, oh, definitely, absolutely, definitely is. And then it takes your mind off the game, and then you're just like, are we done yet?
Yeah, I think I'm almost out of bullets. What can I do?
Right. Who's got ammo? Anyone? No. Has that ever?
I was gonna say I keep Ely with me. I keep if I do use it and I don't chrono it, I probably should, but I haven't ever had to, so it's never came up. But I usually bring 500 rounds every 300 round match, and then I bring 4 boxes of Ely just as, oh my god, I'm out of ammo because I had 10 reshoots. So I just keep it in the bag just in case. It chronos at like 168 out of my honcho, so it works fine. But just in case, I always have it.
Well, that's better be safe than sorry. I'm always over prepared, even if it's like a 300 round match. I'm gonna have 200 extra rounds because you never know what the heck's. Or someone forgets a bag of ammo or a box, and you're like, well, here you go. See, when you go to open, it's a little bit different because then you can only pretty much help an open shooter dependent on. Yeah,
and it's still scary because I have shot some other guys open ammo, and it was good, but it's always like, what's your load? What's your length? I mean, everybody pretty much has the same length on a 38 Super Comp. Everybody pretty much loads 1.23, and you go from there. It's all pretty much the same, but it's all tuned to your gun. So the impulse recoil and all that stuff might be a little different, but you could shoot it if you had to, you know?
Oh yeah, if you had to, you could absolutely do it. But it always sucks to be that guy like, uh-oh, I ain't got no ammo. Yeah. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, that's for sure. I had another question and then I lost it. Maybe it's in my brain. That's right. So if you I don't know, you want to talk about some matches that you shot?
Sure.
Right.
What are you going to talk about? Which just ones that I liked or ones I've shot this year or ones I recommend to people? I mean,
let's talk about nationals. Let's talk about
okay.
we'll start back in 2021 at nationals. What did you think? Well, you staffed the match, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
First nationals I've staffed, but yes.
Okay. So what did you think of the match as a staff?
So matches okay. It was my first nationals, but it didn't wow me per se. I've worked other matches that were smaller that did more for the competitors. They did put us up in a hotel, of course. Took care of our meals. One day it was like a meatball sandwich on the, some people I don't know. It's just hard to say because it just was my first one there, and they did okay. Prizes, they did some staff drawings and stuff like that. They did random draw. I did win a Glock. So that's the first gun I've won in probably 50 matches I've RO'd and CRO'd. They tried to make sure you were taken care of, bringing water, do all that stuff. But in general, like your little goodie bags you got were like whatever was left over from the last year. Same stuff I got before, it's kind of like, I know there's only so much they can do, but at the same time, we're working for free, giving up our time. I always feel like it should be just a little bit more. I guess you could probably say that all the time, but that's just how I feel about it.
Well, in real, yeah, they pay you to get there. They put you up in a hotel. They get you jerseys. But yeah, it still costs you money to go there, though.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it definitely costs money, and like they pay you like now I can't remember. I think it was like a total of like $375 for everything. So you get. And you have to prove you spent $375. They don't just give you the money. Like you have to have receipts, you have to have all that stuff. So it's not like they just give you a check for $375, then give you the hotel rooms. I have to give them all my gas receipts. I have to do all that. And if you want a room by yourself, like that's another big thing. If you're not going with somebody, you have to room with somebody you don't know. It's it kind of sucks, I'm like, I'll pay for half the room myself because that's the deal. Either room with somebody you don't know or pay for the room yourself. So I'd rather just pay for myself than do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause you never know when you get the weird smelly guy, right?
or I'm the weird smelly guy, right? I come in late or I leave early, I don't have a routine, but it's just like, I just rather just be by myself unless I'm with a buddy, but my buddies just don't have the time to do it or don't want to do it. So
yeah, fair enough. So what do you think of the stages then at nationals?
I thought they were pretty good. I thought there was some goofy ones like the half swingers. I thought that was a little extreme. They had some stages I really enjoyed, like the quick stage and the 2 steel and the 2 paper, or the 4 steel and the 2 paper in the middle. First stage of the day, I zeroed that. Just jitters, just like, and I love those stages now that I've learned to shoot. It's steel, and then went steel, paper. Well, I got all in my head once I missed that steel, and I thought that was the activator. I shot the paper with the no shoot up, so it was just a cluster. But I enjoyed a lot of those stages like that. Strong hand, weak hand stage, take it or leave it. There was a big pile up.
Well, because it acts like 3 stages really.
Yeah, it does, and like a lot of people were shooting when it was real dark out, and I saw what when you're working, you see what the competitors go through. Like I was just at a stage for 3 hours. Now I'm down here. It's like, man, that sucks. Like, I understand match flow now more than I did before I was working it. I understand why it's so hard to do, but putting stages like that in there, I don't think helps. But I don't also build a lot of stages, so at the same time, I can't talk too much.
Right. But you're figuring it out, and then you can answer the shooter why, it's like, It's either you had one stage here or two stages. It all depends. How many stages you want in the match, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Nationals I think should have been bigger. I understand we're stuck with Alabama, but the 8 o'clock thing, not shooting until 8 o'clock sucked, or 8:30, whatever it was, and then it got dark pretty quick. But overall, we shot like, how many stages were there last year? Was it 15 or 17?
18.
18 stages last year. So we shot. The way it worked for us was we got 14 the first day and 4 the second day. So we got done as much as we could, just so hopefully the next day was a little easier. I mean, we probably could have cut done sooner, but then we were like, well, tomorrow's going to be harder and we got a lot of stuff to do. So, that makes it tough also. Get done as much as you can and then call it a day and then come back and do the rest.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, it was fun. Met a lot of cool people there. Talked to Jake Martin some, talked to those guys. I mean, it seemed like they got it fixed from when production was there or whatever, the low cap was there. So
got it. All the porta potties.
The porta potties, the porta potty debacle. I don't understand why we can't afford to bring in trailers for people. Like,
the trailer wash houses.
Yeah. Because I mean, they're easy. I mean, I'm a plumber. I know how stuff works, but
goes downhill.
Bring a few of those down there, and I mean, you still have to clean them the same as you clean porta potties, but give a few nice bathrooms to people. Even if they get destroyed, have somebody cleaning them.
Oh yeah, well then have safe tables next to the porta potties because someone's gonna have to. You got to take your crap off, and that's like
they're never there. There's never a safe table, even if they they could still put it by a berm and still have it there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works with the range and all that stuff. So, but I thought Nationals was fun. I shot pretty well. I took 3rd C, and doing the what ifs. If I just wouldn't have zeroed that stage, I'd have been 1st C. It sucks, but I wanted to at least win one C class, championship before I came B class.
But you did get a trophy. There was enough C class shooters to win a trophy.
There's usually always enough B and C class shooters. There's I was going to area 3 and 4, and there's 30 C class open guys. A lot of them are older guys, but there is some talent coming up that's in C class. You still got to beat everyone there in C class. So,
yep. Oh, well, and you look at it, and some of them didn't shoot terrible.
Oh, some of them shot real well. When the ones I get beat by usually are shooting probably B class scores, like myself, and we probably should be B class, but not shooting locals and stuff like that doesn't help.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate, because there's never enough GMs for it to count, or there was enough GMs, but the third guy took a shit, so he's like an 89%.
Yeah, you got like the 100, and then you have 90, then it goes like 75. You're like, what happened here? So, yeah.
Yeah, it always seems like something goes wrong, and you can never depend on it either.
No.
Like I was telling Magnus like the day before the match, and I'm like, well, no match bump for you, buddy, because the other Carry Optics GM he had to bail, so then there's only 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Magnus the Swede. Yep.
Yep, that's for sure. So, what stage did you end up working for Nationals?
Nationals, I worked the double bay. That was so. I'm trying to think of the layout now because I never remember what I worked. It was the one with the timing. It was the steel and then the tip out on both sides, and in the middle I think it was the bobber, and then on the left was the real quick stage. So you did the real quick stage, and then it was because that was C was on top, right? Or was that A?
I think zone. C was on top.
So C was on top. So I was in the B zone. And I was like, I think it was the B zone. Yeah, I think it was 9 and 10, maybe. 9 and 10 or 8 and 9. It was the fast stage, and then the one with the hard coverage steel with the tip outs on both sides. You tip out and then went back in, so you could time it. Did you guys have that at Carry Optics?
Yeah, they had it was similar. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was similar.
Pretty close. Okay, yeah, that's the stage I worked. That was a lot of work resetting it every time, because we were resetting that just so there was no issues.
Right, and then you've got to reset that kind of stuff. Like it makes it so like it's a small 3-target for 6 targets max, right? So you're like, it's okay, we'll just do it. Just stand here.
Yeah. I mean, the activators become a pain in the butt towards the end of the day because you're bending over all day. You're bending over, you're setting them, you're painting them, all that stuff, but it is what it is. I prefer to work, more field courses, but really I'll work anything I'm given just because none of it's that bad.
Right. And yeah, for the most part, it's unfortunate, but you got to do those ones. And at least they're not terrible. I would say a double bay's got to be the worst because you got to wait for the other squad to be done too, so then you can go paste them both. And
yep, and then score. That was the biggest. You'd shoot left, and then come back, and the right would shoot, and then you go score it. All that. It's just it slows everything way down. We never really had a hold up on it, but we had like 4 people on the right and 3 people on the left, so we stayed on top of it pretty well. They loaded us up just so there was no issues.
Mm-hmm. That's always good too. All right, now I want to talk about dragons. Well, we talked a little bit about dragons, but what could have Dragons Cup done better?
What could they have done better? They could have stayed on top of the water a little better. They did their best. It was hot, but still could have stayed on top of it. Also, all the activators. They had activators on every single stage almost, and could have done a little less on that. I think the activators are fun, and it's a shooting thing to do, but it also was a lot of work to reset when you're working by yourself. I think they should staff day should be done a little smaller. Maybe have 2 squads instead of 3, and maybe just have to split it up a little bit more. But overall, I think there wasn't much to complain about. They gave rides from the bottom to the top for the people that needed them. The stages were I think they were very evenly balanced. They had shade on every bay. I just think just get rid of some of those activators. They got the bays to do stuff on, so maybe get rid of some of the activators and put maybe some hardcover out there instead of the monkey, whatever it's called, that goes all over the place, stuff like that. Because resetting those doors, if you weren't careful, you'd rip your fingernail off because you had to lift the latch and then shut it. And it's just a lot of work. So I don't think there's much they could have done better. Just some improvements in general, like maybe not as many activators. Staff day could be a little bit just shrink up the squad instead of 3, make it 2, and make it 2 big squads and make it work.
Right, because you definitely everyone could have their chance to shoot, reset, but not feel burdened of what do you got to still do before you can shoot.
Well, see, and the issue was on my squad, there was 3 competitors, so they couldn't run the tablet or the timer because they're actual competitors. They're not ROs, and it's a level 3 match. So we had to just keep switching. You'd get done shooting, just go once they scored it, you paste your own targets and go down and take over the tablet and things like that. It was just a lot of work. And then they did embedded ROs on Friday because all the ROs couldn't make it, so they had to kind of do like traveling ROs and then shooting ROs, and that was kind of a headache too. But I mean, there's not much you can do about that. If you don't have the staff, you just got to make it work.
True that. I mean, I don't know. That's weird that because there was staff shooting with competitors as well, like not on staff day.
Yes. I think so. So we shot all the stages in one day, and then the next day was technically a competitor day / staff day. There wasn't a ton of competitors there. It was just people that didn't get in during the main match. So it was kind of like it was like the ROs were shooting and kind of working. They were kind of in charge of the stage still, but they were shooting also. And they just couldn't show up till Friday because I got there on Wednesday. So, that's almost a week. You're up there.
Yeah. Well,
5 days.
Oh yeah. Well, shit. Michigan's Area 5 is going to be like that with day and a half format.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, but I did some good fishing while I was up there, so it was a good time.
Well, yeah, and then I don't think I'd want to shoot 15 stages in one day.
No, I shot 14, and that's just too many.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. But it's okay because I'm getting a hotel room, even though I live an hour away.
I'd probably drive the hour.
No, because my problem is I'm a car sleeper.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if someone's like, if I'm riding and someone's driving, I'm out. Like I am no use to you to keep you awake because I'm out.
I see. I drive to almost I drive to every match I can. I have not flown to a match besides into our buddy who has a plane who flies us to matches.
Oh, Brennan.
No, not Brennan. My other friend Steven. He'll fly us to matches, and it's actually almost cheaper than driving once we split the fuel and everything. It's real nice. Flew to Oklahoma, Arkansas, did a little flyby Area 4 last year, I think it was. That was cool. So yeah, but they don't work matches. So to get them to fly, I'd have to not work the match and just shoot with them, which wouldn't be bad. But I enjoy working, seeing people. People know me, I know them. You kind of get to know people, and it's just kind of a good time. So
Oh yeah, it's always a good time, especially shooting, because that's why we do it, right? We don't just do it for the fun of shooting. We go to meet people and hang out.
if I did it for the fun of the shooting, I'd probably have to quit working because it'd be hard to do both.
Oh, absolutely. So now I want to talk a little bit about Michigan sectional. What was your favorite stage?
My favorite stage, honestly, was probably the fixed time stage, the one I worked.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that was interesting. It gave you enough time to hang yourself, but at the same time, it was like, what can I physically do with my shooting skills? It was all skill you had there. It wasn't an unloaded start or anything. I thought it was very well run. I don't know. I thought that was probably honestly my favorite stage. The other one would have been the activator. We had run around the wall, and at the end there, it was still swinging. I can't remember what stage that was. I don't have my paper in front of me.
Stage 10.
Stage 10. Yeah, that was a good stage too. That was a very good stage.
Yeah, it was a good stage until you blow past a target on the left.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Not on 10. I did that on the other activator stage. The one with the activator where you didn't have to activate it.
Oh, the drop turner, the max trap, right?
Max trap, yeah. Which one was that?
7.
5, 6, 7. Okay.
Yeah, because 6 was the fixed time.
Yeah, 6 was a fixed time. Yeah. So I decided I was going to activate it. Well, I shot my targets and ran right past the one on the right. The one I had to stop and shoot. I ran right past, hit that max trap, and I started shooting. Also had a mic on it when my gun was I had all day somehow. So that was another one of those stupid mics I had.
So when you activated the stomp box, because no one on my squad activated the stomp box. Like we just said, screw it, we're just going to shoot the head box.
Yeah.
Did you have when you ran down there, you had enough? How did you engage those targets? And did you have enough time to actually get full chest A zone?
You had plenty of time to, so like once we kind of watched people run it, decide to take the 2 and then the 1 and then run up there and hit it towards the back. So your back foot would hit the back edge of the box and you run up there and I hit 2 A zone, and I worked my way out. Well, I come up to the target and I pulled off it before I was even done firing, but I had alpha mic, but there was plenty of time to shoot 2 alphas and then move on from there.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of flustered myself with pulling off the target and not knowing I did. I thought I had 2 alpha, but yeah, that was a fun stage. I just don't like that you didn't have to activate it. If they just would have run the written stage brief, you had to activate it. It would have made the stage a little bit better, I think. It would have made people try for it instead of just like, let's not step on it, because it takes a second, it might take time away. People that ran past it, don't have to worry about stepping on it.
Right. Yeah. You either got to rush the speed into there or you just take it's a trick. I don't know. I think it washed it. In my opinion, if I would have done a survey or figured out how many people have done it and just to put a head box there, if that, because that's the real effect of it for the most part, is that you're putting a head box target out there. Yeah. I mean, it was only 4 yards, maybe.
Maybe.
It wasn't that far.
Well, height over board for some open and some PCC guys, it seemed like it was a mile away.
Oh yeah.
A lot of no shoots put in there because they'd rush it,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that for sure. Yeah, so I thought there were some pretty good stages overall as well. It was I don't know. I had a couple good ones. I liked the retreat stage most of all, I think.
Yeah, that was a fun stage. I shot that one pretty well. The retreat stage was fun. Just trying to think of what else was on there. Was that the one with the 2? Was that the one with from the corner on each way? You had to shoot the little in the middle, and then you had steel. You're talking about the other one.
Yeah, this was 9. So you had to
Okay.
start in the front left,
Yep.
shoot the array of 8.
Yep.
Then you can either run around the front,
Yep,
or run around the wall between the walls. So
yeah, that was a fun stage too. I can't remember if I ran on the wall now. I think I ran back. I was gonna run on the wall, and then I talked to some of the other guys, and they're like, it's the same steps, but you're here, here, and here. I'm like, okay, so I don't think I ran around the wall.
yeah, I decided I was gonna run the normal way in the shooting area, and then I just shot everything on the move, like creeping through that position, and then did my reload and ran.
Yeah.
So it worked out in my favor for the most part until everyone murdered my time.
Yeah, sometimes you shoot a great. You're like, man, I'm number one still. I've 50 people shot, and then you first competitor day, and your score drops way down. You're like, man, I thought I killed that stage.
That's why I always send my my scores to my friends after I shoot staff day and no one else has shot. Be like, hey, look how great I did.
I screenshot all of them. Like, guys, I'm in first. You see this?
Yep.
And then they'll start looking like, well, Christian hasn't shot yet. I said, well, he's shooting carry options. I shoot open. What do I care?
Right.
Wait, it's a big joke, but that's it's a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for Area 5, that's for sure.
Yeah, kid asked me to work, so I'll be working that also. I can't wait for it either, to be honest with you.
It'll be fun. It shouldn't be too hot. I mean, it's coming up though. Like we got maybe 6 weeks.
It's actually on my birthday. It's the end of July, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there on my birthday.
Yep. What day's your birthday now? Now I'm creeping.
The July 30th, because Area 3 was usually that weekend, so me and my buddies go down there and we celebrate when we're down there.
Yeah, now Area 3 is like 2 weeks later.
Yep. Well, it was hot there in July.
Mm-hmm.
It was real hot, so I'm hoping Are you shooting Area 3 this year or no?
No, I'm not shooting Area 3.
You're not shooting Area 3. That's
because right. I'm shooting Ryan Rocks.
Yes, that's what it was. That's why I couldn't shoot it.
Yep. Because Ryan Rocks was actually supposed to be like, that was supposed to be in like a month from now.
Yeah.
But then a little less than a month, but then they moved it. So that's the unfortunate part.
Yep.
So it's in August now, which we're all the people like Ken, Walt, Savetta, Wes, and Chris. We're all shooting that on. We're shooting that because that's local for us, so that's not too bad.
That's a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
If I wasn't already working Area 3, I would have definitely came and shot that match.
Mm-hmm. For anyone actually still listening to this will come up long before that. So there's still spots open. So go sign up. It's a great cause. I think it's August 12th through the 14th. It's like $120. Like go sign up. Yep. 9 stages of fun. But it was cool because Bob and Jeff were there. They were working stage 1. So that was kind of cool. Do you know Jeff Garrick?
Yes, I met him and talked to him. I actually traded him my little gift, off the prize table. We traded prize tables. He wanted a pair of Hunter's HD Gold, so I got a sweet Coda Evolution handguard, and he got a pair of Hunter's HD Gold because I've already got 2 pairs. So
you can never have
shout
enough.
out to those sponsors, Hunter's HD Gold and Coda from Michigan Sectional.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. I don't have enough pairs of glasses either, but I think my next pair of Hunter's HD Golds are going to be aim cams. Because I love wearing a floppy hat. Like it protects the neck so nice. And yeah, aim cams, man.
Yeah. I got the Optics camera, which works pretty well on the glasses, but I do wear it on my hat.
Mm-hmm.
It works well, but I do like the 360 also. So I don't know. I may switch up cameras again. I always get new gear when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I was indecisive between the Insta360 Go-To or the aim cams, and I'm just like, I like a floppy hat too much. So I don't want to
you can't mount on your brim if you got a floppy hat.
Yeah, or you got to take your floppy hat off when you're going to shoot. You got to put a baseball cap on. It's just like, no, thank you. But with the aim cams, they're always on. You just got to turn them on. So
yeah, those are pretty slick, especially since he's doing lenses for them now. I may even give them a try if I like the way the frames fit my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Hunter's HD Gold, but no, Coda Evolution, that's some cool parts. Do you have a PCC at all, or are you just now it's in the parts bit?
Oh, it's for my AR. I hunt a lot, so it'll be for my thermal hunting rifle. It'll lighten it up by almost 2 pounds by putting that on there.
Oh, there you go. That'll be nice for you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. it'll be cool. We'll see what the prize pack table ends up being for Area 5. It sounds like it'll be pretty cool.
They say it's going to get pretty, they say they're working on it. So with the state of the economy and stuff like that, we'll have to see. I mean, I come to shoot and I want to win, but getting something's nice and also, so just
Yeah,
depends.
I mean, it kind of compensates. Now, if someone walks away with the Chile grip, I mean, you're doing okay.
That's true.
Savetta.
She did win that.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't. A lot of people wouldn't have wanted it though because it was the L2 grip, so it was the flat one instead of the normal like humpy one.
Yep.
But yeah, it is what it is. But that's always fun. So are you? So you got matches coming up, which is always a good thing because we always love shooting. But are you looking forward to anything else like besides shooting those majors? You got anything else cool coming up for yourself?
Uh, in September, I usually have Midwest. We have bow season. Have 250 acres. I hunt and do all that stuff. So really enjoy when it gets colder and I can do hunting. But I do like shooting, so I have a bunch of majors, and then I'm hoping we can get a class in maybe right at the end of the year for Mason or whatever, right before it gets too cold to be outside. That's what we hope for.
Yeah. Now, are you're shooting rifles or like when you go hunt, is it bows?
Yeah, well, I like to bow hunt. I have a few bow kills, I have a few rifle kills, but in Missouri, it's pretty much rifle, pistol, bows. And yeah, I mean, we don't have any caliber. Well, we do have caliber restrictions, so we don't have no straight wall restriction like that, like Michigan has.
Hmm.
Pretty much any cartridge besides a 22 caliber.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what was your coolest deer kill to date?
Oh, I was 2 years ago when I first got the property. Decided to go out when it was it's about 40-mile-an-hour winds, and my buddy's like, "Hey, we're gonna go home." I'm like, "Well, I'm just gonna sit out here in the blind and just see what happens." And winds just whipping, just you're not gonna see anything. So they said it was gonna die down. It died down. Animals started coming out, and here comes this 9-pointer, 278 yards with a 30-06. Uh, I shot it, and I mean, it took me all of like a half hour to shoot it to try to figure out. I'm figuring out ballistics. I'm trying to figure out, the wind's blowing, and dropped in its tracks. So it's pretty cool. I shot another 9-pointer last year, but that one was just the coolest because it was my first kill on the property. Honestly,
Hmm. Did you get that one mounted up?
I did. I have both of them actually mounted, and then one in the freezer.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Nope, nope. I love eating the meat and get it all made up. So
Yeah, that's always fun. My fun fact: my stepfather's a taxidermist, so it's kind of cool to see whatever he's got working on. Or it's like, yeah, so you turn this one in today. It's going to be about a year and a half, 2 years till you see it back. I'm like, you crazy?
yeah,
But
depends how busy they are. Like this one, it's a chick we went to high school with. Her turnaround time is about 9 months. She can do a couple hundred of them in about 9 months turnaround, depending on when she gets them. So
yeah,
she
well,
does amazing work.
the big part is the tannery always takes the long. It's always gone. It's like, well, as soon as they get around to me, shit. He's even raised his prices to turn away customers. They still keep coming. It's like because
He does good work.
yeah,
It's just like
exactly.
gunsmiths. They start raising their prices, and you're like, no, I think I want you to build this.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, fine, I'll take your money.
What
You
are
know,
you getting built for when you get an open gun?
it's gonna be a 9 major, full length 9 major gun.
You just gonna buy all the parts and have it built, or are you gonna do
Uh,
it yourself?
no, well, no, kind of. I'll tell you off air, but no, it'll be a cool build. Mostly Chile parts. So because Matt's a good dude, he sponsored the sectional. I went and picked up my frame from him. I was like, well, it's only an hour drive for me, so I'll go down there and save, the transfer fee on the frame and saved shipping. So I saved like $70 by just driving down there. This is before gas was absolutely ridiculous. So
Yeah, yeah.
now
Gas to get to Michigan cost me about $220.
it's not fun. That's why I stopped driving my truck. I had to start driving my little. I had to go buy a little zippy car just to get around
Yep.
because I wasn't driving my Ram around. No, not at 14 miles to the gallon. No way. But yeah, so it's looking fun. You said you're shooting nationals in Colorado, so that'll be
I
kind of
am
cool.
I am shooting it. I'm also working it.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun one. I got a lot of family that lives out that way. Uh, the mag the mag restriction stuff is crazy.
Yeah, especially
They
right
live out
now.
that way. They've never. I mean, you just can't buy them there. A lot of people have them, and as long as you're not acting a fool, they've never had an issue.
Right. So it's like you live in California because California is supposed to be like that too. And like, but you see guys with open guns all the time. Like you're
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's like I've had this forever. Don't bother me, right?
don't do nothing stupid. You won't. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess two good nationals went off without a hitch, so that's good.
Other than all the storming on the internet.
Yeah, well,
I
that's how
mean,
that works, you know.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, but all this the Steger, I call him Stegerites. Nothing wrong if you like Steger. Steger's an fabulous instructor, but y'all listen to him like it's fucking gospel. Stop it. Check yourselves. Well, but anyway,
Yeah, everybody had an opinion on that. Somebody told somebody, and that's what happened. It just got brought to the attention of somebody, and they made it an attention thing. It's
mm-hmm,
not really a big deal. They've lived out there forever, shot 30 round mags forever. They're before 2013, whatever. It's
mm-hmm.
never been an issue. They hunt out there, all that stuff. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm excited. It's a beautiful range. I've never been there. I've always wanted to shoot there. So it'll be nice to go out there and see it.
Yeah, it'll it'll definitely be nice when 28 stages.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It,
pretty awesome.
but God, it's gonna be brutal. Like, do you even have the staff schedule for that yet? Like, how many days
Oh,
it's gonna be to shoot?
no, not yet. It'll probably be like a 3-day format, I'm thinking.
God, you think about that. So it's 3 days for staff. We're gonna just assume 3 days for staff, 4 days for competitors. So that's 7 days plus the day before and the day after. So you're out there minimum 9 days in a hotel. And then you got to fly or drive, whatever you're gonna do, right?
I'm
So
gonna drive. It doesn't seem like it'll be that bad. I drove to Texas and I drove to Area 6. Those were both 14 hours. That was easy.
did you do that
So
in one day or did you stop?
yeah, no, I did it one day. I drove Dragon's Cup. The crazy thing is I wanted to this will tell you how good of Brian is at Hunters HD Gold. I hung around on Sunday and he was pulling his tent and stuff, and it was hot, and people were talking to him and they all left, and I helped him tear everything up, and he's like, well, you want to go to the I helped him tear down. He's like, you want to go to the awards banquet? I'm like, man, it's already 5 o'clock. I got a 14-hour drive. So ended up going back, went to the awards, which Dragon's Cup Awards is pretty cool. I rented out a banquet area, had a
Mhm.
DJ, had some real cool trophies, good food, drinks, all that stuff, and ended up driving 14 hours through the night, getting home at like 8 a.m.
Mhm.
Didn't have a single issue. I rented a car for that, so that I just really I don't mind driving. I enjoy it. It's kind of relaxing. I just turn on some podcasts, catch up on all those, and then just cruise on through the night.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, definitely. So that's interesting. I've also helped Brian tear down his booth because that's how I am. I was just bullshitting with him, and it's like, well, if you're getting ready to go, I might as well help you pack up.
Yeah, it was like I always Ryan's a good dude. He's cleaned my glasses, fixed my glasses, whatever. And when you work all these matches, you see all these people, Duda, all them guys. Everybody's pretty cool. So you just kind of get to know people, get to meet people, and all that stuff. I always buy their stuff, so why not help them tear down, do that stuff? It isn't like we're not tearing the match down too. So
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. But it was kind of nice though, Michigan sectional. We were able to like, well, it's go time. Just rip it down.
yeah, that was nice. Wave the 1 hour, we're done. Let's tear it. It did come down quick.
Yeah.
I do like how the range is so close together. It's another thing I like about the Michigan. It's real close together, not real long walks besides up that hill, and it's not even really a long walk, but
hmm
that's pretty nice. Besides the clubhouse being farther away, but the bathrooms were all clean. There's plenty of them, and if I thought the match flowed very smoothly. We finished like an hour ahead of time, hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Our one day was like what, not 2.5, and then there was 1.5 the next day. So that's not
Yeah.
bad at all.
Oh no, it was perfect. Gave me time to go fishing.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone likes fishing, but yeah, it's definitely fun. Are you gonna go shoot? You're not gonna go shoot the Infinity Open, are you?
I don't know. I was asked to work that. I haven't. I think there's no other match going on, correct? That I know of.
It's like 2 weeks after nationals, though. So
Yeah, I might. I was asked to work that. I might go work it just to see what it's like.
mhm.
It's not that much farther, so
Right. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
yeah, just to experience all the ranges. I really one year want to shoot all the areas. I want to do
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that'd be cool too. I'm gonna get 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 this year.
Yeah.
Not
So
2 and 3.
yeah, well, but shit, area 2 fills up faster than you can say New Mexico.
All you have to do is tell them you'll staff it and you'll get a spot.
Well,
Usually
that's true.
they especially if you become a good RO, they'll definitely just be like, yeah, we'll take you. We'll put you somewhere.
Mhm.
People that care. That's why I became an RO, because I was seeing bad calls, and it was just like you go to a local and you went and DQ somebody. It's like, why is he not DQ'd? Well, it's a local. Well, he broke the 180, or he fired a round off, 7 feet in front of him, or whatever. It's like, well, he's new. That's when I became an RO, to learn the rules so I could call out the BS. And I don't want to DQ anybody, but I also don't want to let people get away with stuff and then go to a local match. And area 4 last year that happened. Target wasn't pasted, and I saw it. Well, before she or as she started shooting, I saw it, and I knew it was 2 alpha. And she's and whoever started shooting gets down to the end and just stops shooting. Well, they're looking at me like, well, it's not pasted. I'm just like standing there, didn't say it. And I said, well, if you finish, I'll show clear hammer down. And I'm like, I knew what the call was already. I mean, scored as is. You can't
Mhm.
stop yourself for something not being pasted. You shoot, and then if we don't know what it is, that it sucks, because I would have just liked to have stopped it, but they'd already started shooting. And I know how the rules work. We shoot it through, and then when we're done, if I can't tell what it is or I didn't know, I
Mhm.
mean, and I know it screws people up, and I've been there too, but the rules are the rules, and I'm not gonna bend them for anybody, even if I'd love the oven to break or whatever. But I just go by the rules most of the time. If I screw up, I fix it, or if I don't know, I call somebody.
Right. Exactly. That's why it's always a nice thing. Like, you always can, like, even at Michigan Sectional, you had the RMI with you on that stage. So it was like, so you can ask him. He'd flip through his phone, find the rule for you if you had to, or
Yeah, that was nice, honestly, because there wasn't too many questions. Actually, I think a lot of people like that stage. I think there should be more stages like that. Maybe not quite as intense, but it was a lot of fun to see what you're capable of in that allotted time. Like, what can I do? Like, where am I at? Shooting.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
I mean, I saw people go after all 6 targets, and it was tough.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tough, especially with that sucker target out there on the far right. That was a
It's
sucker target.
that was that could have been a the day ruiner there. If
Hmm.
you're not winning by much and you throw 2 no shoots and get no points, and then you mess up the rest of it, that could be a real hurt there.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. So Camden, we're coming to the near the very end. But do you have any sponsors, or is it just your Visa, MasterCard, Discover card?
No, I still have from when I started, Tactical Shit. They sponsor me. It's a place in St. Louis here. Now there's one in Clearwater. Shop.tacticalshit.com.
Is that like TJ or something? That
Yep,
like
TJ Kirk. Yep, TJ. Yeah, he's done a lot for me over the years. Now, maybe not as much as he once did, but I understand the climate, so I'm still always gonna say his name and put his name out there, because he's always taken care of me, so I'll take care of him. So he sponsors me, and then of course I use Range Panda stuff. He don't sponsor me, but I'm always gonna push his name because I have all his covers and all his stuff. So he's a good dude.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
Eric's a great dude.
yeah, he's an awesome dude. Helped me out with a lot of stuff. I actually have one of his old guns too, so that's pretty nice also.
Did
That's why I
you
have so many open guns, because
right?
people, you really need this. I'm like, yes, no, yes, okay, I'll take it.
Did you touch it with your no square?
He had to send me a lot of videos to get me to buy it, but
Oh.
yeah, he's like, you want this,
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. So, Camden, where can they find you on the internet if they wanted to get a hold of the C-Class Legend?
Well, I'm on Facebook. It's just my name, Camden Lee, and then Instagram is C-Class Legend. Other than that, I don't have much other than that. I'm pretty much just that's the easiest way to find me.
You should start a YouTube channel with your match videos.
Oh, we I have plenty of match videos, and I look at them and go, man, who's gonna watch this?
Diehards. I mean, but it's always fun because then you can watch the stages and you find the match, figure out the match, see if you kind of like it. And it's interesting, especially if you're already going to record it. It's like, might as well.
Yeah, I think right now I have like, I don't know, I think it's like 3,000 videos right now.
Lord.
I've recorded pretty much every match and never deleted it. I got quite a few on my phone. I should just start they should just start loading them up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2,200 videos.
Oof.
Mostly match videos, stuff like that on my phone, just from, camera footage, first person. I've had the GoPro on the hat. I've had it all. I've tried everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely a bunch of different things to try. Well, Camden, thank you for coming on. This has actually been real fun. It's been a blast. It's been a real blast. So thank you for coming on, dude. That's been fun. Thank you, listeners, for checking out this video of Manny Talks Shooting. So until next time, get out and do the things, and I will see you on the next one.